Wow, what is this? After a long wait, the special episode _Miraculous War London _ has finally been released. The Race Against Time, a brutal episode. It was epic and at the same time very confusing. This special is practically the definitive closing of the first story arc, even though the chapter has many loopholes and things that were not explained, such as the light that appeared behind LILA. One of the things we all wanted to see was the direct continuation of this scene. Who came behind LILA? But none of this was shown or explained. Instead, the story simply continued with other scenes. In this video, I will discuss what happened in _Miraculous War London, the Race Against Time _ You should know this, I love unicorns. The episode does not begin directly with the post-credit scene from the end of Season 5. Instead, we see how Nuru tries to escape repeatedly, but it seems LILA used a spell to prevent Nuru from escaping. Suddenly, we see a cell phone showing it is 10 p.m. and Time Stalker appears. In the following scenes, we discover that Time Stalker is LILA Rossi. Despite Nuru's attempts to stop LILA from continuing her machinations, LILA is unperturbed. Interestingly, LILA had written "Who is Ladybug" in her notebook before this moment. She had already spied on Chat Noir and discovered his identity. Nuru confirms that people who are akumatized forget everything when they are purified, so to remember, LILA had to write it in her notebook. She opens it again, realizes who is behind Ladybug's mask, and without hesitation becomes akumatized once again, this time into a spectre. Consequently, she goes to Marinette's house and steals her Miraculous. In the burrow, we see 3 versions of Bunnix playing a curious kind of chess. This part is very endearing, showing how they live in harmony with their different versions. Suddenly, the grandmother Bunnix and the adult Bunnix begin to fade away, realizing that the end of times has begun. They know what will happen and that only Mini Bunnix will remain. Before disappearing, they advise her to follow her instincts, revealing nothing due to the dangers of interfering with time. Mini Bunnix investigates a time window to check for any temporal errors and provides a brief summary from Season 1 when Marinette became Ladybug to Season 5 when Gabriel made his wish. Suddenly, the window disappears, hinting at an impending catastrophe. After Gabriel's wish, Ladybug and Chat Noir travel to London. Kagami sees on the news that the entire world was akumatized, but everything ended with Monarch's defeat. She confronts Ladybug, who confirms it's over but insists Adrien must never know the truth about his father being Monarch. Ladybug also tells Kagami that her mother, Tomo, was an accomplice of Monarch and should face justice, but Kagami disagrees, fearing her mother might reveal Gabriel's secret to Adrien. Ladybug tells Adrien the sad news with a fabricated story, claiming both Gabriel Agreste and Tomo Tsurugi were Monarch slaves, threatened to help him with akumatization technology. She adds that Gabriel heroically removed the Miraculous from Monarch and made a wish to save Natalie and everyone else. Adrien, devastated, lashes out at Ladybug and feels helpless. Later, Ladybug, now mentally and emotionally exhausted, writes everything in her diary. Meanwhile, Mini Bunnix saves Marinette from being consumed by the wish. Marinette and Bunnix must find out who discovered Marinette's identity and stole the Miraculous. Marinette travels back to the Origins chapter of Season 1 to steal the Miraculous from herself, becoming Kranabug. Together with Bunnix, they review the timelines and discover that someone was spying on them. They realize that while Marinette slept, an intangible being entered her house and stole the Miraculous. Kranabug tries to prevent this, but finds the being untouchable. They deduce that this villain writes down everything in a notebook to remember after being deakumatized. When Natalie confesses to Ladybug about Gabriel and Tomo's involvement, the villain eavesdrops and writes down Marinette's identity. Bunnix and Kranabug prevent this from happening again by altering the timeline, wiping the notebook contents, and leading the villain to believe Ladybug's identity is incorrect. The villain, LILA, goes mad upon discovering her notes show that Ladybug is Gabriel Agreste, leading to frustrated outbursts. Nuru is paralyzed by her rage, but with everything restored, the time windows reappear. Marinette wakes up, realizing Tiki knew everything. With a new hair mod's threat looming, Marinette decides to distribute the Miraculous to their bearers. In a final scene, Ladybug and Cat Noir vow to fight together to reclaim the Butterfly Miraculous. This marks the emotional end of the first story arc in the Miraculous Ladybug series, wrapping up 9 fantastic years of adventure. Remember to leave your thoughts and theories in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video. Goodbye!